And good afternoon to you. Welcome aboard the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I'm your host, Tom Taylor, ready to go for another week back from the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. And we're back in the saddle, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We say good afternoon to you on this Monday, April the 20th, 2015, our 49th day together. And week number 11, our Fun and Frolic. Of course, we parked this show on Thursday and Friday to go attend to things at BMS with the Bristol Live programming. Hope you switched over and found us. We had a blast and had a good time. Horace was there. Horace was the glue to the whole gig. And also
that's glue.
There you go.
Coming undone.
As a kiss, what that was. That's what makes me a little uncomfortable. Really nervous, quite frankly. But anyway, Horace is here. And also our buddy Cody got a new man on the team. Did a great job and took Cody up there for his first trip ever to Bristol Motor Speedway. Didn't know how to get there. From Granger County he is, and took him up there, and he got hooked. I mean, he is in, big time in. So, anyway, we thank you and certainly thank the folks at Bristol Motor Speedway, our buddy Drew Bedard, and all the folks in and around BMS for giving us the red carpet treatment. And we're 123 days doing all over again. And a couple of our great sponsors who are on this show as well. Thanks to the Apester and Tommy Wyman of the gang at Bracken Paving. Also, Kingsport Cabinetry. Already had a couple of folks call me and ask me what the phone number was. They heard the commercials on the show and wanted to get the number to call and talk to Richard about doing their kitchen cabinet. So I always like that, and so we appreciate those folks very much advertising with us on Bristol Live. But back to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We will, again, do the quiz show coming up here a little bit later on. It's about time. Let's see. Gator's asking the question today.
So. I say your chances are good, big guy.
Yep, I'm liking it. Now, he was blowing smoke over the weekend. Even today, he said, "You're not going 5 for 5." So, okay, right. So, heard that before. Quiz show wins scoreboard, thanks to Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance, is at 8. I've got 5. Buzzer's got one web buzzer back in the saddle this week. The Gators actually got one. He went 5 for 5. And my boy over here, he went 5 for 5 somewhere. Somewhere down the line, he went 5 for 5. So
you were asking the questions too.
There you go. Not going to do that anymore. So anyway, and since we last visited, we now adorn our wall in the studio here, the Toronto Blue Jay pennant in honor of one Daniel Norris, who did not do good yesterday. Had a tough outing.
No, he didn't.
Talk about having a dead arm. I don't know what that means, but I don't think that's a good sign. So anyway, he got lit up pretty good yesterday and took the loss. He's 1-1. He'll pitch again, I would say, theoretically, Friday or Saturday will be in his next round after a 3 or 4 day rest.
He just wasn't in sync.
Yeah.
I mean, he came out there and he just was not in sync.
Yeah. Now, I got a text last night. We're up there in the middle of this rain delay, Cody and I get a text from my man over here. He's got him he's laying in the recliner. Did you have a shirt on? That's what I want to know.
Yes, I did.
You sure? This is a red. I'm up here trying to do this show, and I'm getting these texts. And Cody even says, Cody Hilton looks at me and says, "Man, what is Horace doing?" Bzz, bzz, bzz. I mean, it's all evening long. Bzz, bzz. And so at one point he says he's sitting in his recliner on his 75-inch screen watching. One half is the race. The other half, I guess, with the Reds.
Yeah.
Watching them gag. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm off the hook on that bet. So he's slung up in the recliner. He did have a shirt on. Did you have shorts or long breeches on? I'm trying to get this visual.
Basketball shorts.
And basketball shorts.
I was comfy, baby.
Oh, I guess. He's laying in the recliner with a pot pie and some Easter peeps, those little peep candies, which is a winning combination. Even Cody said,
You're telling on me.
Pot pie and peeps? I said, that's what the man said.
I found them laying on the counter. Hadn't been opened, hadn't been used. Said, got to get rid of them. They won't make it till next year.
Yeah, just eat them before they get outdated.
I don't know. They might make it till next year. I don't know what's in them things.
So, anyway, he's eating a pot pie and Easter peep candy.
My dog liked peeps, too.
Slung up in the recliner. with I can just sit, kick back, watching the Reds and NASCAR eating a pot pie and eating peeps. What'd you chase it with, by the way? Water or soda pop?
I had some sort of grape sugar-free drink. It did not have any carbonation in it.
No. He's only eating about 27,000 calories of that pot pie and those peeps, so I'd chase with a good sugar-free drink, too.
I had to put in something in my system. I've been eating turkey wraps and Chick-fil-A all weekend, so I had to.
Oh, you got me crying over here. Got to balance it out. Oh, yeah, let me tell you that story. Yeah, I'm glad. So you shouldn't. I'd forgotten about that. Let's see.
No.
Oh yeah,
No.
we were treated.
Now,
We were treated every night. Oh yes, I am too. I told Cody, he said, "You got to do this," and I will. So Cody's our new guy on the team here, and so he went with us, and he helped produce the show. And Horace took yesterday off. So we're going out of the speedway the other night. I don't know. It's 11. I don't know what time it was. It was late. Well, they fed us all during the weekend, and we appreciate Drew doing that. And so one of the
it's good food.
It was good food. Well, apparently, because the story's about to get better here. So my man over here, we're getting ready to leave, and I mean it's late. It's between 11:30 and 12, somewhere through there. And so these boxed sandwiches from XYZ Company have sat over there for an extended period of time.
No. One of them maybe, but the other one no.
So anyway, my boys we're getting ready to leave, and Horace. He looks over to Christopher, who works at Speedway, and says, "Can I take them with me?" And so Christopher turns around and looks. It's like 11:30.
We're going to throw them away.
And he's going to throw them away. And he just looked at me and looked at him and was, "Yeah, I don't care. Thanks." And
I took one of each.
He scooped one up of each. So he walks out. He's walking out of the press box suite with 2 boxes of these food under him at 11:30 at night. Do-do-do-do. And he goes home, and I told Cody, I said, once I drop him off, he won't make it home. He'll eat those between my place and his place. But as the story goes,
I did not have a single one.
Mrs. V, right?
Mrs. V.
Mrs. V and the man-child, and your dog got some of it, right?
Yeah, the one was and probably shouldn't have touched it. So, yeah, the dog got that one because it'd been around a while.
Been around a while, so let him be the fall guy on that one.
Yeah,
did he get sick?
No.
All right.
Dogs never get sick.
No. So anyway, my man's walking out at 11:30 at night with 2 big boxes of food under his arms, heading home to Mama and his dog. So it doesn't get.
Yeah, boy. But the man-child had the other one. He came in and he had to talk, and he opened the fridge, and there it was, and down it went.
Didn't even ask how old it was. Like, hey, there's food in there. Telling you, I was over here laughing. My sides are hurting. That's good stuff. So my boy Horace, again, in the middle of the race, and it's right in the heat of the race. I get this sitting in my recliner, watching the race, eating a pot pie and eating Peeps.
I knew that'd get you going. I just knew it.
Oh, good grief. All right. So, anyway, we had a blast at Bristol Motor Speedway. And
fun time.
Oh, it was. It was a great time. Loved every minute of it. We thank
got
again.
Some pictures I hope to put up here.
Yeah.
On the
got some
Facebook
of our
page.
drivers we had a chance to meet and hang out with. And also got to call qualifying on Friday with Pat Patterson from Performance Racing Network, who's a really cool guy. And so he's been around the sport about 20-some years. And also had a chance to meet Michael McDowell, one of the drivers. And actually went down to the drivers' meeting yesterday and met all the drivers. And also met Bill Goldberg. Is that his name?
Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Big old boy.
I bet Cody he was going to spear you, but he didn't.
Well, we're standing underneath the tent. And I'm not name dropping. I was going to tell you what happened. We're standing under the tent. It's pouring down the rain, and they're going to they did do the pre-race in the rain before the race got started the first time. And so I'm standing beside Goldberg. This guy's pretty good size. And
you big dude.
Yeah, he looks at me, and I've never spoke a word to the man. I'm standing there kind of just minding my own business, waiting for my cue to talk on the PA. He says, "You asshole." And I said, "I'm sorry." He said, "You asshole." I said, No. He said, "You're a big boy." I said, "Well," and I'm as tall as he is. I'm not as broad-shouldered, but I'm as big as he is as far as height. So I said, "No, I don't wrestle." He said, Never missed a beat." He said, "I could take you." I said, "Well, I'd like to think you could." Yeah. So anyway.
Oh, man, how close did I come?
Oh, man. So the first part of me thought, I just ought to shove him right, just for kicks, just shove him and say, "Hey, sissy, what are you going to do about that?" And I thought, that'd be really stupid. I'd lose my job, then he'd kill me.
Limb from limb,
I guarantee it. Look like a rag doll when he get done with me. The Scarecrow with Wizard of Oz laying all over that place. So anyway, I met him and then didn't get a chance to talk to her, but saw Dana Perino from Fox News, and she's a little tiny lady.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how short she was. So anyway, we go to the drivers' meeting, and so I'm standing there, waiting to get the old speaking assignment for pre-race. And up walks, unbeknownst to me, because I didn't realize who she was. I don't know why. She walked right past me. It was Danica Patrick. I promise you.
Oh, she's a shrimp.
Oh, I'm 6'5". I promise you, she don't come up to my belt. I never saw.
Oh.
I kept thinking, man, in fact, I thought to myself, man, this lady looks awful. She's a cute lady to be so young. Because I thought this little girl's in high school or whatever. But it was Danica Patrick. And right behind her comes her little boyfriend, and he ain't even bigger either, Ricky Stenhouse. So, anyway, It was a good time, no question, and I got a chance to hang out with my buddy Steve Smith and Food City, and that's always fun. Steve's a great guy. So anyway, not name drop, I'm just telling you some of the folks ran into and had a good time up there at the Speedway. But my favorite guy to hang out with was my man Horace over here. A couple of times we had some technical difficulties, and we saw the man go into action as only he can do. And at one point, Patrick and Christopher.
I was a little stressed.
Oh. And at one point, Patrick and this is great. This is the best week I've ever had up there. At one point, it's called a horse. At one point, I look over and Drew, who I answer to, I deal with up there at the track. Drew and Patrick and Christopher all kind of get up and just because horse is right here, and they're right here trying to work on their laptops, doing things, get ready for the race. And my man over here is snapped. He has lost it. And they look at me like, what's with this guy? And I said, hey, it's Horace. That's all I can say. Well, they actually get up and step back because he is flailing. That wire's not working there. Did you know you hooked us up wrong? I said,
you're exaggerating.
No, I'm not. I said, no, I didn't set this stuff up. You did. He said, this wire's not working. It's got a short in it. And he starts doing these wires. And Drew's like, in fact, Drew just left. He said, he's making me nervous. I'm leaving. I said, okay. So anyway, we had a great weekend. And I'm looking forward to it already in August to get Horace back up there. And
they may not want me back.
Oh yeah, you're in. They thought you were cool. In fact, they all said, "Horace not coming today." I said, "No." They said, "Well, tell him we said hello. We had fun with him because you were off yesterday eating pot pie and Easter peeps."
Well, I had other obligations.
Oh, you're making me cry. Oh me, oh my. Good times.
I'm getting ready to post this picture of Pat Patterson with you and him.
Thank you. Life's too short. It's good. You got to laugh, even if it's at yourself or in this case at Horace. So, although I will say he got me back a couple of times, traveling to and fro the Speedway. Twice he tweaked me, and he knew it. And I thought,
I know how to push your buttons.
That's
too,
exactly right. I thought going down there, I thought, dadgum him, he got me, and I let him. So, anyway, we had a great weekend up there. We had some great racing. Again, you hear Joey Logano or Sue Joey Logano set a track record. Again, start to finish, 300 laps, led the entire race on Saturday. Then the little youngster, I say little guy, Kyle Benjamin in the pit light 125, he outdueled his man, William Byron, to win that race. Again, Benjamin out of Easley, South Carolina, bringing home the checkers and jumped out of that car and let out a big war whoop and said, man, we just won at Bristol. I mean, it is a big deal for these folks to win at this track. And then yesterday, of course, with the rain delays, Matt Kenseth brings home the checkers. And again, I don't want to gloat. I don't do that normally, but since it's Horace, and if the tables were turned, I would never heard the end of it. But who sat right here last Wednesday and said, I picked up the newspaper and said, who's going to win your race? Who's going to win the race? And it's a picture of who?
Mr. Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth. You got it. So he wins it. And again, from the pole, wins the race, and now they move on to Richmond. Here are the standings, by the way, after the Cup Series, race number 8 out of 36. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., those have not changed. Jimmy Johnson jumps up to 4th place. He was in 6th position. You said Brad Keselowski dropped a notch down to number 5. Junior moves up. Nope, he doesn't move up. He stays where he was. Casey Kane drops a notch. And Casey Kane was 5th. He actually drops 2 down to 7th. Matt Kenseth cracks the top 10 with his victory. Jeff Gordon with his follow-up performance.
Well, he had a great race.
He had a great race, yep. And he rolls into the number 9 spot now in the points. Eric Amarola stays 10th and was 10th. So that's your top 10. Danica Patrick, good run. She finished in the top 10 of the race.
Now, who would have thought, I sent you a text too, that of the Stewart-Haas clan,
yes,
that Tony Stewart and Danica Patrick would have had top 10 finishes, and Harvick and Busch would have come in toward the bottom.
Really? Yeah, they had good runs. So Danica finished top 10, and where did the other one finish?
Smoke came in 6th.
Come in 6th, yeah, old Tony Stewart. So they had good runs, and that may be the race gets him turned around, Tony. And, of course, Danica, that's her best finish ever at Bristol. And I don't know if it's her best finish in the Cup Series at all told or not, but that's her best finish at Bristol. So they all move on to Richmond this weekend.
I think, ever since last year and what happened to Tony, when he came back and started racing, he just wasn't the same. Like he was a little bit timid at times. But yesterday's race, I saw a little bit of the old Tony coming back. So I think he's it's slowly coming back to him, but yeah, because he nudged a few people out of the way to get up there.
Yes, he did. It's Bristol, baby. Our show is dedicated to the one who hung up on the cross. Our verse of the day is out of Zephaniah 3, verse 17. I am with you. I am mighty to save. I will take great delight in you. I will quiet you with my love. I will rejoice over you with singing. Zephaniah 3:17. I am with you. I am mighty to save. I will take great delight in you. I will quiet you with my love, and I will rejoice over you with singing. And that is the verse of the day. And we appreciate, again, the opportunity to tell you about that each and every day, because this show is very much dedicated to the man who hung on the cross, and we unashamedly tell you that. Our show brought to you by the good folks at Bristol Motor Speedway, soon to be Bristol Dragway. They're going to start with us next week. Got them coming on. That's pretty exciting. Not pretty, it's very exciting. We're going to give you tickets to win to send you to the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals in June. We'll start qualifying folks for those to give you some tickets to go to the Drags on Father's Day weekend, which is going to be here before you know it. We're also brought to you by American Import and Auto Repair, home of the free loaner car program, Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Kingsport Cabinetry, our dear friend, I just went blank, Richard Isaacs. I'm a little punchy today.
You are.
Yeah, I thought I was
and
doing
I haven't
good.
said a word to you.
I know. I thought I was doing good, and all of a sudden it kind of hit me. It's like, ooh. So it's catching up with the Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, Bracken Paving, Wells Fargo Financial Network, Bays Mountain Park, Max Medicine Mart, Cherokee Barbershop. That's going to be a disaster today. I'm going to embarrass Gator. I'm going to go 5 for 5. You won't like it. And by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. So those are the sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are gaining likes. Picked up 3 or 4 more this morning. And now Cody has got me on Twitter. Now, that was a whole train wreck up there the other day. I kept saying, I'm going to twit. Those people said, what? All these people who are in social media, I mean, that's what they do. This room we're in, they're all up there doing this stuff all weekend long, responding to hashtags and tweets and blogs and all this stuff. So I stand up and announce that I'm going to let Cody tweet me. I'm going to start being a twit. They said, what? I said, I'm going to start twitting.
That's something you've been a twit all your life.
There you go. So I don't quite know the right verbiage, but we're now tweeting, whatever that means. And he tried to show me. So he's like you. He said, okay, now you hit this button. If it has a little smiley face, you take your phone like this, and you hit this, and they're going to like you.
He experienced what I've experienced for the last several months.
I said, Cody, how come I have the United States soccer team on this thing? I don't want to know. I don't know anything about soccer. He said, well, they tweeted you. I said, how do they know where I'm at? I'm in Tennessee, and I don't like soccer. He said, well, no. They're just going to tweet you because I said, I know what you told me, but why would they tweet? I don't care. I don't know anything about U.S. soccer.
It's all inclusive, Tom.
So the longer Cody talked to me, he finally said, I get what Horace means now. I understand. I said, okay, whatever. So we had a good time up there, no question. Now, I don't want to gloat anymore. I'll gloat a little bit about Kenseth because, wait a minute, I got it right. Now, my boy Horace, to start the baseball season, we went out on a limb for a little bit, and I said the Cardinals will come into Cincinnati last weekend, and they will sweep the Reds. I'll lay a lunch bet on it at the Cracker Barrel. Okay, well, you got it. All right, so they lose 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. Last Monday, a week from today, sitting in that chair, we went back and did a 2-0 bet. I said, okay, they're going to St. Louis this weekend. The Reds are terrible in St. Louis, and the fact, as I was proven, they got swept. And so now the Cardinals have won the last 9 series in a row over the Reds when they play in St. Louis. So I said, Horace, let's go 2-0. He said, okay. So that means I would have had to buy him 2 chicken and dumpling dinners at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Well, mercifully, which I knew they would gag and choke, and they have. They got beat. They got swept by the Cardinals, and so now the bet's off. So I dodged that bullet.
You dodged the bullet.
Billfold stays lighter, and the Reds are awful. And I told you they were. I kept telling you.
We need a new manager.
I kept telling you guys during spring training, telling you and Greg, they have not done anything to bolster this ball team except get Marlon Byrd. And
let me tell you something. Mrs. V went off on Marlon Byrd.
He was
playing out there in left field in the second game, and we were sitting there in our recliners watching the game, and several balls got hit out into left field. And she says, well, he's running in slow motion. Where'd they get him? Get Tubby off the field.
Tubby. She called him Tubby.
Called him Tubby.
Wow. Mrs. B called him Tubby.
Yes.
That's serious there.
Yeah.
Mrs. B.
She's a Reds fan, too, see? So.
Yeah. Throwing down the gauntlet, calling Tubby out in left field. So, anyway, Marlon Byrd, she's right. They got him, and he's not going to be a game changer. He hasn't been. He's not going to be.
Hadn't hit the ball either.
No. And then I told you up there at the track, the last thing they should do is put Homer Bailey out there after being injured, put him out there against the Cardinals.
He
The
got
team,
shellacked.
oh, I knew they got lit up like a Christmas tree. I knew he would. So
We need a new manager.
I think that's where it's at. I think he doesn't. I don't think he's got a clue.
Doing.
And I think if they keep on this slide with the kind of money that Walt Jocketty's paying these guys, there'll be a change because they've now lost 4 in a row. They've won one game since last weekend. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the last 8, including 4 in a row. Yeah, they're not going to put up with that in Cincinnati, I promise you, and they shouldn't. Now tonight they play the last place team, the lowly Milwaukee Brewers, who are 2-10.
I'm not optimistic now.
No, I told you it's the Blue Jays. They're kind of struggling a little bit. So
man, the Braves went up there and took it to them. I'm sitting there going, the Braves.
The Braves, the ones we made fun of.
Were we wrong on the Braves?
Oh yeah, the ones we made fun of. So yeah. We had a good time with the folks who won those tickets. Got some nice text back from our race ticket winners. Ken Archer, a nice text from you. Thank you, sir. Also, McKaylee Campbell and Sarah Noel. Sarah from Nashville went up, and they had a blast. They said, we're hooked. See, here's the thing. I'm going to preach to you for just a second. We got to go to a break. We get ready for Dave Angie. But it's one thing to sit in your recliner with your shirt off, eating a pot pie.
My shirt was on.
Or your shirt was on. So I'm just thinking just laying slung up like a redneck in that big old recliner. But you had your shirt on. Yeah. But you're still a redneck. So, but seriously, it's one thing to sit there and watch it, and you saw this up there. Live, in person, Bristol Motor Speedway does not do it justice on TV. No. You got to go.
No,
I mean, you just have to go. The crowd, you don't have that as an excuse now. They got 4 park and ride places. Johnson City, Kingsport, Bristol, and Blountville, where you can park your vehicle. They'll take you right to the front gates of the Speedway, jump out, and go right in, watch the race. 45 minutes after the race, they're taking you right back to your vehicle. That's quicker than you're going to get out there in regular traffic, I think. So you really have no excuse. The pricing is such that the tickets were starting at $35. $35. What's it cost to go to Dollywood, or what's it cost to go to Carowinds, or I don't know, pick a place that has an entertainment, dollar attached to it.
Just go up there and watch the people. Yeah. That's entertaining in itself.
It's great, man. I'm telling you, it's awesome. I love it. I wouldn't miss it. So, anyway, consider yourself to get in there and go. We'll give some tickets away in the fall for the Food City 300. It's coming up on that Friday night, the 21st, I think it is, 21st, 22nd. I have to double-check on the calendar, but it's right there on that weekend. It would be the 21st on that Friday night. And so get yourself ready. He's going to go check the calendar to double-check. I knew this was coming. Go ahead. Make sure I'm right. You're wrong. It's the 20th. Go ahead.
I said we're going to get to August 1st.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I could have bet money. I know this guy now. As soon as I said, let's just see if he's right. So August 21st.
That is the Friday night. 22nd is the big race.
Right. So Friday night, 21st, I'm right, correct?
Friday night, 21st is the
Food City 300. You got it. Xfinity Series race. So Food City 300 on Friday night, and the night race of all night races, Urban Tools night race, coming up on the 22nd of August. It's going to be a great night there in Bristol at Bristol Motor Speedway. Coming up, we got all kinds of sports talk about. Got baseball. Pete Rose, got a story on Pete Rose. Adrian Peterson may be wearing those colors. They're going after him with that checkbook. They got $20 million to lure him for Minnesota to be a Raider.
But will Minnesota let him go?
They've got attorneys. If he wants to go, he'll go. If he wants out, he'll be out. I guarantee it. Also, we've got lined up. We're going to check in Dave Angie coming up next. NASCAR beat writer for the now Johnson City Press. He has changed places. Jeff Birchfield will also talk to us a little bit later on about the action over the weekend at BMS, and also Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park due to join us. Tomorrow we'll have our regular visit with Daniel Monge from Milligan College. Also coming up later on today, we've got an update on baseball, high school baseball and softball. I was talking to someone today and didn't realize they're winding it down, and they are. This is the last week of April, next to the last week of April. So the tournaments in baseball and softball start week after next. Hard to believe. School's not that far from being out. We're not that far away from high school football. Oh, yeah, which is
that's right.
120-some days till high school football and college football and the pros. And, oh, yes, we got tickets. Well, not we, but I got tickets from a young lady that I met up there who sells tickets for the Titans. And I asked her, I said, and this is what she said, you're going to enjoy this, and we'll go to the break. She says, I said, Jordan? I said, yep. And I said, can you get me some tickets? I said, the Raiders are coming to Tennessee, to Nashville this year. She said, okay. I said, can you get me tickets? She goes, oh, I'm sure I can.
Yeah.
I said,
Nobody wants to see the
I
Raiders.
don't know this lady. I said, well, why would you say that, George? She said, what's the Raiders? I thought, have you been talking to him over there? But she said, no, I don't know. She's talking about you. So I don't know who he is. I said, well, why would you say it? She goes, well, I don't know much about football. She said, but they're god-awful. I said, give me some taters, Jordan. And I said, can you give me some tickets? Because I probably get the best tickets you want, so we can put you on the 50-yard line. Ain't nobody going to be there to watch the Raiders. I said, good grief. Total strangers, Naomi, are my boys. So, but I did see Kenny Hawkins up there. We had a nice talk in the hallway. He thinks the Raiders are back. He said, we got Derek Carr, got some new linemen. We get
y'all thought that last year too.
What's the guy's name? Amari Cooper. He thinks we're going to get drafted out of Alabama. He thinks we're going to have a good draft, and which is coming up next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday week. And he thinks we're going to have a good draft. He thinks we'll get Adrian Peterson. He thinks the Raiders' fortunes are getting ready to turn, and everybody in the press box just started belly laughing up there talking. So he says, give me a break. We'll take a break. We'll check in with Dave Angie, see what's going on in his new digs. He's moved from the Kingsport Times News to the Johnson City Press, and he will join us coming up next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Hello?
We're back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday. Gator Man, is that you?
That is me.
Hello, sir. How are you?
If I was any better, I'd be twins.
102 days until the first fall football scrimmage. Wow.
Yeah, but who's counting?
But who's counting? That's exactly right. So high school football right around the corner. Tell me again, before we get into matters at hand, tell me again what we had a chance to experience last Saturday. Have you had some more positive feedback from the scholarship brunch we had?
Oh, we had a great turnout. We had 60 people show up. We got 3 new members to the National Football Foundation. 8 young men were represented, and 3 got scholarships.
So for someone out there listening, okay, why should I join this? Why would it help me, and why would it help the kids?
Oh, I do it for a selfish reason. I like the feeling I get from helping a young man improve his world. Yeah,
and so someone out there is saying, okay, how much does it cost to join, and how do we improve his world? Give me a sales pitch on this.
Well, it's to be a member, it's $40 a year, or you can sign up for a 3-year membership for $99, so you save money there. Or you could do a lifetime membership for $1,000, and that's one time. You'll get to help kids go to college, Then you'll also be able to vote in the College Football Hall of Fame, which is located in Atlanta. And any function that a College Football Hall of Fame function, you're automatically invited to.
Neat stuff again. And how can we join? And even though it's over, we're still gathering money, starting up for next year to start a new round of scholarships. And how can we join?
People, Bobby Dickin, NFF at yahoo.com. Send me an email. Call the barbershop. We'd love to have as many members as we can get.
There you go. Now, when's our next meeting?
That's a good question. It is May 21st, if I'm not mistaken.
May 21st, which would be on a Thursday night.
Thursday, yes.
Yeah, May 21st on a Thursday.
At Trinity Memorial in Kingsport.
Trinity Memorial Church in Kingsport, is that right?
Funeral home. Trinity Memorial Funeral Home.
Oh, Trinity Memorial Funeral Home. There on John B. Dennis in Kingsport. All right.
It's the old Damon's building.
Yep, old Damon's Restaurant. You got it. We're talking to the Gator Man. So how was things last week at the Cherokee Barbershop? Did you stay hopping?
Oh, it was a letdown from Easter, but still a great week.
Yeah. So tell me, you're closed today. Have you done your fluff and fold today?
I've done my fluff and fold. I've even cleaned house a little bit. Really?
So a little pledge and some paper towels, and you're off and running, right?
Oh, I'm good to go.
All right.
I open the door and hose everything down.
I got you. Oh, so we got the quiz show coming up today, and you're telling me more than once this weekend that I'm not going to go 5 for 5. Is that right?
Well, if I say it enough, eventually it'll happen.
That's exactly right, but so far it hasn't, because I'm 5 for 8 here in the quiz show with you. So let me think. Who am I going to play for today? I'm going to play for a friend of ours, Angie Marshall. We're going to play for Angie Marshall. She's on the Facebook, and she likes us, so we're going to play for Angie. She works for the city of Kingsport. She sings like a bird. Do we have a national anthem in there, by the way?
I might look and see if we got it. I don't know yet.
I love it. It's laying right here. I'd love to play that because she can sing, but we'll play for her. Let's hit the quiz show theme. Here we go.
I love this music.
I'm going to ask our producer extraordinaire to replay it and give it a little bit more juice. It was not loud enough for my liking, so let's hear it one more time. Here we go. Is that new chord?
Yeah. Sorry, man.
All right. There we go. Now, there's another story I can tell you before we get into the quiz show.
Not my fault.
There you go. So, Horace takes yesterday off at the track, so he sends me a text, be sure and pack things up and bring it back, everything back so we can do the show. Well, Cody and I in our haste at 12:30 last night, we were throwing things in bags, and we inadvertently left 2 cords of major need at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Horace does not let me live that down, and he made a
Who was running a Radio Shack?
Made a suicide run to Radio Shack and took care of it. So, anyway, there we go. So, Gator just never stops over. You know that? The dust never settles. It's always something, you know?
Well, that's what makes life interesting.
There you go. So, my man Horace, at least he cares enough. He's engineers this debacle every day, and we appreciate that. So, here we go. Let's do the quiz show playing for Angie Marshall. Question number 1. I am ready if you're ready, my friend.
I'm ready. Now, I've got 4 sports questions and 1 TV question, but I had to throw the TV question in.
All right, go ahead.
Gilligan's Island ran for 5 seasons, true or false?
Gilligan's Island ran for 5 seasons, true or false? That is false. It ran longer.
Well, it's false, but it only ran 3 years. You got it right, but...
There you go. I'm 1 for 1.
I'm trying, Horace.
All right. Number 2.
All right. The Maurice Podoloff Trophy goes to the National Hockey League's MVP every year.
The Maurice, say it again.
Podoloff.
That is false.
That is correct. Do you know where it goes?
Rookie of the Year.
That's the NBA's MVP.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm 2 for 2. Here we go. Oh yeah. Some smoking it. Here we go.
Okay, there are 6 ways to reach first base in baseball. True or false?
6 ways to reach first base in baseball. Okay, let me think. You get hit. You get walked. You get a single. Let me think. 6 ways to get to first base in baseball. Hit batsman, a walk, a single. Gosh, that's a good one there now. Hit batsman, a walk, a single. I've said that 3 times. Let me think what else here.
That's 9 now, if you say it 3 times.
That's exactly 3. 3 threes or 9. I'm being correct. Let's see. 6 ways to get to first base in baseball. Hit batsman, walk, single. I'm thinking there's only 4. I've heard this before. Let me think. Okay. 6 ways to reach first base in baseball. I'll say that's true.
It's false. There's 7.
God. All right, read them to me.
Okay, you can get a hit.
Right.
You can get walked.
Right.
You can get hit by the pitch.
You got those 3.
Fielder's choice.
Okay.
An error.
Right.
Catcher's interference.
That's the one I would have missed. CI,
Or
okay.
a drop third strike.
Drop third strike.
That would be – that's not a – okay, but that's considered an error by the catcher.
But it's an out, but he can still make it to base if the base is open.
See, Horace don't want you to be wrong. He's quickly jumped in here and got a little animated over on this side of the table.
I know all about that. I watch it happen all the
I read it
time.
out of the rule book.
Yeah. So a drop third strike is an error on the catcher, but you can still reach first base. That would be true. Okay. So, all right, missed that one. All right, let's keep trucking. Stupid question, by the way. Yeah.
What's that?
It was you know what I was going to say. It's a stupid question. All
That
right.
time I get one.
Yeah. All right. Angie Marshall won the free oil change. She's not going to get one. Go
I
ahead.
thought it was a great question.
Thank you. Quite a horse.
Okay, the 1980 USA hockey team won the gold medal by defeating Russia.
That's
True or
true.
false?
That's true.
That's false.
Thank you. Okay.
They beat Finland in the game after that.
That was right. It was the semifinals. Okay.
That's 2 stupid questions. I'm
Yeah,
wrong,
2
baby.
stupid questions. There you go. All right, go ahead.
Last one.
Yes.
Nolan Ryan is the only major leaguer to throw a no-hitter on opening day.
That's false. That's false.
Well, you're correct, but do you know who it was?
The only one to throw a no-hitter on opening day?
Yeah,
I want to say Don Drysdale.
Bob Feller.
Well, that was close. Same alphabet, so
I bet if I'd have put Don Drysdale, you'd have said true, though.
I probably would have, and for no apparent reason. But, well, those are really stupid questions. So the ones I missed were how many ways you get to first base, which is a good question. I'll give you that one. That was good. The ones on Wednesday are always stupid. I missed those Elvis ones. So what was the other one you gave me that I missed?
The 1980 The Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, that was stupid. So, okay.
That's a great movie, by the way.
It is a good movie. Now, you are closed today. Is that correct?
I am closed today.
All right. So, open back tomorrow. Tell us about Cherokee Barbershop. Give us a little testimonial.
Cherokee Barbershop, Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and Saturday, 8:30 to 1. Come down and get a cup of coffee for $11. Get a free haircut, and you get to keep the cup.
Barbershop polls out. That means you're in and you're open tomorrow, getting the day off today. I hope you go outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. It's gorgeous out there after all the rain. So, things are looking so green. Now, let me go through this again. 7 ways to get to first. This is a good question. Hit batsman, a walk, a single, fielder's choice, an error, catcher's interference, or a drop third strike.
And fielder's choice.
Yeah, I said that. Try it again.
Oh, did you say it
Hit,
again?
hit batsman, walk, single, fielder's choice, an error, catcher's interference, or a drop third strike.
Correct.
That's a great question. That was a good one. The other one, stupid, but that was a good question. So,
Yes, still lost.
I remember in the 1980, I got to stay up late and watch that game,
which one? The hockey?
the hockey game, and I know nothing about hockey.
Was it the semifinals? Was that right?
It was the semifinals, yeah. They call it the medal round.
Yep. And so they went. The Americans went on to beat Finland for the gold. Is that correct?
Right. Do you know who Russia beat to get the silver?
Ecuador.
Well, pretty close. Now I forgot.
There you go. That's what happens to get around me. It's contagious.
Sweden.
Who? Sweden?
Switzerland or Sweden?
I think it was Ecuador. You need to check. I think it was either Peru or Ecuador, one of those hockey teams.
I think it's Jamaican bobsled team.
So it was Sweden. All right. Gator, you're awesome, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Again, located on South Roan Street right down from the Tipton Haynes Working Farm. And when that sign's out, he is in. And at one point at Bristol Motor Speedway the other day, you had 3 of your customers in the same room, Horace, myself, and Big Swami. He was up there, of course, working Daniel this weekend. And we were, and all 3 of us at one point, out of all those race fans, we had 3 in the same room that are customers of yours. I thought you'd be pleased to hear that.
I'm glad that the Big Swami. Wait till I call him that. I didn't know that was his nickname.
Oh, yeah, Big Swami. He big old boy. So.
Have you seen him walk backwards?
Have I seen him walk backwards?
He can turn his feet backwards and walk forwards, but his feet are backwards.
Oh, no.
Now, say what? Say it again. He can turn his feet backwards?
He can turn his feet backwards.
Oh, he can't do that.
I've got the video on my
I got to
Facebook
see
page
that.
for the barbershop.
I got to see it. Email that to Horace because I won't know how to find the video. But email that to him. I'd love to see him. He turns his feet backwards and walks forwards.
Yes. weirdest looking thing I've ever seen.
Wow. That means he's double jointed, among other things. So that's wild. All right.
Just go to Cherokee Barbershop's Facebook page, and it's under videos.
That's just weird.
That is weird. But with Swami, after I met him, I understand. I can understand that. Yeah.
You have to know him.
Got to know him to love him. All right, Gator, thank you, my friend. Great job. Keep smiling. We'll check in with you next Monday. And that one of those questions was good. That was really stupid, but that's all right. We'll do it again next week, all right?
Did I make Horace proud?
Oh, he's over cackling like a little kid. So, oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll come see you this week.
All right.
All right, I'll be there.
Good man right there. Thank you, Gator.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Good man right there. Appreciate him very much. The Quiz Show brought to you by American Import and Auto Repair, home of the free loaner car program. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday, again, April the 20th. Go ahead and get that cackle out because you're enjoying it over there way too much.
I am.
Yeah, so let's see. A couple of sports stories. Get your thoughts on the Eagles signing Tim Tebow today, a one-year contract. What's your take on that?
I think that's something that's going to play into something bigger. I don't know. I just got a gut feeling on that. When you hire a fourth quarterback and they say he's just going to do the training squads – or something like that. I can't remember, but a fourth-string quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Actually, he's fifth string. They've already got
Fifth.
five. Sam Bradford, Mark Sanchez, Matt Barkley, G.G. Kine, K-I-N-N-E, on the roster, so he makes the fifth quarterback.
Well, they were talking about him being the fourth on the news last night, but still. And he's just going to work practice squads, which doesn't make sense.
Why would you – he's a competitor. Why would he go on a team just to be a practice squad quarterback?
I guess, like I said, I think there's something bigger in the works down the road. So,
yeah. Released by the – let's see. He hasn't played in the NFL since 2012 with the Jets. He was released by the Patriots before the 2013 season. Spent last year working in television as an analyst for the SEC Network and ESPN. Despite being out of the league, the 27-year-old Tim Tebow remains one of the most popular players around because of his Christian beliefs. True or false, he is a former Heisman Trophy winner.
Was he Heisman? I think he was.
Mm-hmm.
True.
True? Got it. Good job, Horse. The warm-up for Friday. Former Heisman Trophy winner who led Florida to 2 national titles joins quarterbacks Sam Bradford, Mark Sanchez, Matt Barkley, and G.J. Kine on the Philadelphia roster. So 5 quarterbacks now for the Eagles. You think that's okay? You think there's something bigger coming?
Yeah, I mean, what team needs 5 quarterbacks, number one? Well, I don't know. The way they were going last year, the quarterbacks were dropping right and left.
There's an attrition factor, no question. So we'll see, but he's on the roster, supposed to sign a contract today. The price, his pay scale, not noted, but again. So, by the way, Matt Kenseth, we did some checking last night before we left. How much do you think he won by winning the race last night? This is his personal take home.
1.2. No, it wasn't that much. This is Bristol Spring Race.
Oh.
850,000.
Lower.
Mm-hmm. 600.
Now this is his cut, not the cruise.
Okay.
This is not
the total winnings.
This is not a divvy up. This is what Matt Kenseth is going to have a check written to him for winning that race.
Okay. 300,000.
Lower.
Oh wow. 100,000.
Higher.
250.
Lower.
200.
Close. 212.
212. Now, how would I get 212,000?
Because you're Horace. You're supposed to know this stuff. You're the all-knowing. When I came in, the wires weren't ready. You were all over about that. It's like,
well,
so
yeah,
I just thought you were all-knowing.
Okay,
so.
who came back from the race last night and just left the backpack sitting in a chair?
I did.
Yeah.
In that chair.
I know.
I didn't unpack it.
Didn't unpack anything? Didn't try to pick anything
It's 1
up?
o'clock in the morning. I'm going to bed, babe. I've been up since 5 that morning. I'm going to bed. It'll be here when you get there. And I thought it would made not one bit of difference if I'd have put it where I thought it would be.
Right.
You'd have said, you didn't set it right. You just put it right there. So I'm learning my man. He's learning me. It's great. You talking about the odd couple. Holy smokes.
Well, I better pull that thing. I got Cherokee Barbershop still up there.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Anyway, we've got so he won $212,000 to bring home the checkers at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's not bad for, 9 hours worth of work? So it's more than that, but in essence, he's behind the wheel for 9 hours. So anyway.
You can go to Burger King a few times on that.
You can get you a few chicken sandwiches on that deal. You got it. Let's see. Speaking of TV, Tebow comes out of the TV booth going in. Pete Rose getting back in baseball while he waits a ruling on his reinstatement request as a television analyst. The career hits leader who agreed to a lifetime ban from the sport 26 years ago has been hired by Fox as a guest studio analyst, which I think is great.
Oh, yeah.
Rose will not be in the stadium broadcast booth. He can't even go to the broadcast booth in the stadium. That's just way wrong. I don't care.
Yeah.
That is crazy. All this other stuff going on out there, these guys getting by with what they're getting by with. And Rose, he can't even go to the ballpark as a TV analyst to talk. I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, what would be the harm in him going to a ballpark and sitting in front of a camera and analyzing a baseball game? I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not a thing wrong with that. Rose has not been allowed in areas of ballparks not open to fans except with special approval from the commissioner's office. Now, it's 26 years. He's paid his dues. And I think it's a crock, quite frankly. So, anyway, he's one step back. The new commissioner did, as we said earlier when they started the show back in, I guess it was early March, we started at one point of the shows when we got it going, that the new commissioner said we're going to sit down and take a look at and, consider reinstating him to baseball. So I hope that happens. But Pete Rose is back in the baseball TV booth working for Fox Sports. And
But they're still awful silent. They haven't said a word. We had a peep out of him since he made that statement.
No. So I don't know. But
I think he just said it to appease some people and just let it ride.
Yeah. Fox says we informed baseball of Pete's audition. Baseball was informed every step of the way that he was coming back. And apparently, as long as he didn't show up at the ballpark, which I just find crazy. That's nuts. Look at what some of these other guys have done. Josh Hamilton, they came out over the weekend. Sad story as he deals with cocaine and alcohol abuse. He got caught again. He, what would you say, went off the rocker, but he went off his he had a relapse of alcohol and cocaine abuse in the off season. Well, now he has filed for divorce from his wife. Apparently she has stood by him, and so now he's kind of pushed her away. So, anyway, that's a sad story there again with Josh Hamilton. I hope he gets his life turned around, gets things changed out, but he has filed for divorce from his wife and his family. His wife won't let him around his kids because of his behavior. Apparently it's rather erratic, so since he's on cocaine and alcohol. So, tough situation, sad story for Josh Hamilton now getting ready to go through a divorce, and sounds like she was his best friend and kind of hanging there with him through all the tough times, and so he's kind of pushed her away and filed for divorce. Cody Campbell, Milligan College, got the Buffaloes' big ball game. Again, pitched the Buffaloes to win in Game 1 with a complete game, striking out 3, walking 2 of these only earned runs, coming on a 2-out, 2-run homer in the top of the first inning. Cody Campbell now 5-1 for the Milligan College Buffalo team. We know that young man, and he can throw BBs. I can tell you that. He's only a junior, and I wouldn't be surprised some guys are going to take a look at him. They should, as Milligan, again, 8-4 win over St. Andrews on Saturday. Lost the nightcap 3-2 in 8 innings to St. Andrews at Milligan. But again, Cody Campbell, the junior fireballing right-hander. At one point, he was the #1 pitcher in the nation in NIE baseball. He had a 0 earned run average. Had not given up an earned run. And now his grandfather, who we go to church with, tells me every Wednesday night, gives me a report on Cody. He said, he slipped. I said, really? He said, he's #2 in the country now. I said, Mr. Campbell, ain't too bad. He said, no, we're awful proud of him. So Cody gets a complete game, striking out 3, walking 2. His only earned runs coming on a 2-out, 2-run homer in the top of the first. Then he settled down and went the distance. So Cody Campbell got the win for Milligan the other day for the Milligan College Buffaloes. Can you believe I've almost done an hour of this show already? Man, this thing flies by.
I know it.
We've got Jeff Birchfield coming up here in a few minutes. Dave Angie will join us in the second hour, as will Rob Cole. We, again, will tell you, let's see, what else can we talk about? What's on your mind?
Well, we got the Braves do have a issue with one of their left-handed pitchers.
Really? What's going on?
Andrew McKirahan. Is that how you say his name? McKirahan. McKirahan, I guess how you say it. Suspended for 80 games.
Really?
For performance-enhancing drugs.
Really? That's not good.
No,
that's not good at all.
Now, I don't know what role he had in the rotation or if he was a bullpen pitcher or what, but he's not with them now for 80 games.
I keep looking at you, and I keep seeing on your right cheek this big white blob. And I thought, what? I was going to tell you to wipe it off, but it's on my glasses.
It's on your glasses.
I kept thinking, why does he have this white blob? And I'm thinking, I moved my eyes while I go, this is on my glasses. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Somebody got hurt and is on the shelf for the Braves? No, substance abuse.
Substance abuse.
Wow.
Performance-enhancing drugs.
Wow. What's his name again?
Andrew McKirahan. McKirahan.
Kirahan.
Yep. McKirahan.
Yep, McKirahan. So he's on the shelf for how many days?
80 games.
80 games. Wow. That's virtually most of the season at this point.
Yeah.
By the way, I got a text from Weinman. The Apester has the questions done for Wednesday, and, boy, they are doozies. Have fun. There you go. These Elvis questions. She's on it already. Yep. So McCurran is in trouble. 80-day suspension for substance abuse. Now, again, my boy was up in the at the press box at BMS the other night, keeping us updated on the Predators. Where are we on those right now?
We're down.
Blackhawks got them?
They're up 2-1.
Okay.
I think they play again tonight.
Let's see.
Not. Well, either tonight
they play
or
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Chicago skates past Nashville 4-2. The Blackhawks lead the series 2-1. Wyman's not surprised. The Islanders beat Washington overtime 2-1 yesterday. They lead that series 2-1. Montreal, the Canadiens over the Ottawa Senators 2-1 in overtime. Montreal leads that series 3-0. And Vancouver and the Calgary Flames. And the Vancouver who? The Canucks. Yeah, that was a late game. It doesn't say who won, so this went.
You remember what a Canuck was? I told you.
It's another name for a Canadian.
Just a slang term for a Canadian.
Yeah, like for West Virginia, it's a hick or a hillbilly or a redneck. Gotcha. Sasquatch. Here you go. On Monday tonight on the ice, you got the Rangers skating in Pittsburgh. The St. Louis Blues will be in Minnesota against the Wild, and Anaheim, the Ducks, will be in Winnipeg against the Jets, I think. So tomorrow night, Nashville will be in Chicago to skate against the Blackhawks in the Windy City. So there you go with that. Now, are we following the NBA any at all?
I am not even watched or checked a single game.
Don't care?
Don't care.
Well, my Spurs got spanked last night. They got beat by 15 on the road. They lose big time to the Los Angeles Clippers, and that'll be Game 2 coming up tomorrow night. Also, yesterday, it's in the playoffs. We'll talk about them now. Cleveland beat Boston.
Okay.
And Cleveland needs the series 1-0 because the rest of the time I don't. It's like watching just playground ball as far as I'm concerned. But now they actually start to play because it means something. Atlanta beat Brooklyn. Hawks lead that series 1-0. Memphis beat Portland. Memphis leads that series 1-0. Tonight, Milwaukee. What's the name of the Milwaukee team in the NBA? They are the
Bucks.
Good. They're playing at Chicago against the
Chicago Bulls.
New Orleans play. New Orleans and the Golden State Warriors. What the New Orleans team?
They used to be the Hornets. They changed their name, I think.
Right.
Oh man. Off top, it's like I said, I don't care less. I don't
know. I know, but you got to play
Jazz.
along.
No, they weren't the Jazz. No, that's Utah Jazz. Shoot, I don't remember.
I'm thinking now. I'm just going through the papers. I got to double check myself now. I want to say the Pelicans, but I'm not sure.
Pelicans, that may be right.
Yeah. Oklahoma. Yeah, it's the New Orleans Pelicans. That's
Pelicans.
Right.
How can you take any team serious that calls themselves the Pelicans?
That'd be cool to do the PA. Now, welcome your Pelicans.
No, that's like the Chicago Cubs. You got the Bears.
Yeah.
Who's afraid of a Cub?
Well. Apparently the Reds are. Of course, the Cubbies right now are in second place.
I know it.
And the Reds aren't. The Reds are 5-7, 3.5 out already. They're not very good. The Cubbies, yep. So now playing first base, now you're starting forward for the New Orleans Pelicans, Tom Weinman. There you go.
Now, you want to name it? Here's a name for a basketball team, the Raptors.
Yeah, birds.
The Toronto Raptors? That's a
dinosaur.
Bird.
No, that's a bird.
Raptors?
That's a dinosaur bird. Yes, it is. I know. Yes. What do you think a raptor is?
It's a vicious
but
lizard.
It's a vicious lizard? It's a flying dinosaur bird. Is a raptor?
No, they don't fly.
Yes, they do.
They run.
Raptors fly. You better believe it. You look it up.
All right, man.
Bays Mountain Park, they have a place up there for the raptor birds. That's the birds that fly. Absolutely. The birds that go airborne are raptors. Now,
I'm thinking of velociraptors.
I don't care, but they may run, but they can fly too, the raptors.
You never saw Jurassic Park, did you?
No, but it has nothing. But you're trying to go on down a rabbit trail. I'm learning you. Raptors are birds. It may be dinosaurs. They are birds that fly. Did you Google it?
No, I don't have to.
I'm going to do it right here. What? Oh, why is this thing blinking when I hit Google and it doesn't do anything? That drives me nuts. I can't type anything. Why does that not do that?
I don't know.
I mean, why does that do that? Okay. Let's go to the CYB website. I don't know why I'm doing that. So we'll come back to find out it's 70 degrees. Now, let's go back to this. This is live on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. What is a raptor? What is a raptor?
Okay, you got two different answers. You got a bird of prey.
Thank you.
Or you have the velociraptor, a genus of dinosaur.
Okay.
All right. Now, which would you rather be?
Well, what's the logo?
A bird, huh?
What's their logo look like?
I don't know.
Well,
like I said, I don't follow them.
Well, that would be very. Yeah, there it is. A dinosaur that flies. Right there it is. Played a prominent role in the Jurassic Park motion picture series.
There you go.
All right. Bird-like dinosaurs. That's what I told you. You said they don't fly. They do fly. There they are. There's pictures of them. They fly.
They didn't fly in Jurassic Park.
Let's see. My phone's blown up here. Let's see. Oh, got it from the Wyman the Apester. May, please don't let me be wrong. Did you not watch Jurassic Park? Never seen the movie ever in my life. You all are cracking me up. Thank you, Apester. That's good. Arguing over a bird that doesn't fly.
On Tom Taylor's sports show.
That doesn't fly. Drew's going to listen to the show and I go, what have they done? What have they done? They've gone crazy.
Well, we've gotten drunk on NASCAR.
We're kind of loopy. There you go. So anyway, the bird-like dinosaur, the Toronto Raptors. You got that right. Where were we going with this? NBA. That's what it was. I don't know. Anyway, tonight we've got New Orleans, the Pelicans, at Golden State. Oh, you got on the Duflachi and found Raptors. They play tomorrow night. So anyway, tonight Milwaukee and Chicago, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Golden State Warriors. We're going to take a break. Coming up, we're going to talk a little East Tennessee State Buccaneer golf. We're going to talk the PGA Tour. A guy hadn't won in, 100 starts. Got him a big win over the weekend. I'll tell you who that was. Also on the local scene, got some golf cranking up this week on the Seniors Tour here in the region. High school baseball and softball report. And also coming up next, talk to Jeff Birchfield from the Johnson City Press. I'll ask him what a raptor is. Now, are we – before we go to this is going to drive me nuts. Are we in agreement it is a bird of a dinosaur flavor? Is that correct?
Birds came from dinosaurs.
No, birds, God created them. But go ahead. Ain't nothing. They didn't come from anything. The Lord God who created them on the
raptor they
third
had in
day.
Jurassic Park was, it had a bird-like appearance, but it was no bird.
I'm going to go to this before we go to the break. It's going to drive me nuts. I can't say this word. A velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
Yeah, this velo things is a – what is a genus? Genus. Genus?
That's the species.
I don't know.
I'm
just nervous. I've gotten into a nervous mode here now.
Like you're supposed to be part of the Homo sapiens.
Yeah, I'm
genus,
not one of those.
But I don't think you are.
No, I'm a cowboy.
You're a Sasquatch man.
There you go. I ain't one of them things, I can tell you. I'm a cowboy. Let's see here. It shows a bird with wings. A little bird that runs around along the ground. Runs around on the ground and can fly from time to time. Yeah. So right there it is with large wing feathers. A raptor with large. Why would God put wings on them if it couldn't fly?
I don't know. Well,
chickens can fly. I know where you're going with this. Chickens can fly.
Ostrich?
They can fly.
They can fly?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen one fly.
They fly down the road. Let's take a break. Birchfield's going to come and get us back on track. We got NASCAR coming up next. You just don't know on this show. We're going into raptors and birds that fly, dinosaur birds.
Take a break, Tom.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. It's the top of the hour. You're listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that it's smart to replace washing machine hoses every 5 years? What if you didn't know that you might need extra coverage for more expensive items? And what if you didn't know that teen drivers are 4 times more likely to get into an accident? So, the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
You got me now?
Got you now.
All right, thank you. Now, we're in the middle of an argument, and I need your help. All right? Can you help me? All right. Horace and I are in a discussion. We were talking about the NBA, and he said the Toronto Raptors. And I said, yeah, that is a bird. He said, it is not a bird. I said, it is a bird that flies of dinosaur descent. Please help me. Can you tell me, best you can, what is a raptor in your humble opinion, and does the stupid thing fly?
Well, raptor, as far as their logo, I think is more of a dinosaur, but I always thought the raptor was the bird that flew. So, you know what? I've got Google here on my computer. Let's Google it up real quick.
Go right ahead, fire away, because I want to. If I don't win this
I mean, according to what they're showing here, I guess it is more like just a dinosaur jumps around and all that.
Well, for those that want to know, I've got a picture of a velociraptor on the web.
There?
Yes, go ahead. Yep, I got you. Go ahead.
Hello. Did we lose him?
No, I don't think so.
Hello.
Are you still there, Jeff? Well, he may bow out of this argument, so
oh yeah,
we'll have to call him back. We'll try him back here.
Yeah, it's we lost him.
All right, let's try it again. We'll go back. Go ahead. What does yours say over here?
I've got a velociraptor on our webcast there.
Okay.
It's a picture of it. It's a dinosaur. It's a wicked-looking dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
So just let you know that.
So I'm reading this real quick. Yep, these bumps on bird wing bones show where feathers anchor the bird.
Ain't no feathers on this one, baby.
All right. So let's call him back and see if we can get him back on. And he's probably thought we just got mad and hung up on him, which is not the case at all. When you work with cell phones from time to time, you run into this. It's just one of those magical things we deal with. So we're on live. Let's go here. Let's try it again. Jeff, are you still there?
I'm back. I don't know what happened there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a magic.
I guess as far as Toronto Raptors, it looks like a dinosaur, but a raptor is also, a term used for, like, birds of prey. So.
There you go. That's what I said, a birds of prey that fly around and attack things. So
let's agree that they're vicious, whatever they are.
We're both right. All right, so.
Yeah.
Hey, you're with
the Toronto Raptors, though, they use more like a dinosaur as their logo,
Okay, thanks, Jeff. You sided with him. I appreciate that. So now I got to hear about this when you hang up. Thanks, pal. So we're talking to Jeff Birchfield of the Johnson City Press. Hey, we saw some great racing up there yesterday. It took a while to get to it with all the rain, but man, oh man, once they got out there and got after it, they treated the fans to some great racing. Tell me about it.
Well, I think the fans that sat through the rain last night or yesterday afternoon and stayed till last night, I mean, they were treated to some just terrific racing. I mean, it had everything you wanted. It had great competitive racing up front. Guys were mixing it up. They say some people just want to go see crashes. Well, if they did, they got to see some pretty spectacular crashes yesterday and got to see some Kipper Slayer. I mean, it had everything you want, everything Bristol sort of built its reputation on.
Yeah, who got a little revved up there yesterday? Who kind of lost her temper, lost her cool a little bit?
Well, I mean, they didn't really go out like make a big scene or anything, but you could sort of tell with the comment that Casey Kane made about Tony Stewart. He wasn't very happy about that deal at all, when Tony hit him from behind. And then also David Reagan, I think he was a little aggravated the way Jeff Burton kept on getting in people's way, and I think Jimmy Johnson finally dumped him, after so many laps riding behind him.
Jimmy had enough and dumped him. You're exactly right. We're talking to Jeff Birchfield again, our friend from the Johnson City Press. So Saturday, not so much. Logano dominated that race from start to finish and led the race and made history, but kind of a blasé race. But, man, yesterday, you're right. You had all kinds of subplots going on. Look at Danica Patrick. She had a nice run there yesterday.
Yeah, someone had asked me a few days ago about Danica. Said, well, you think she'll ever get better? I said, well, she's got a lot better this year. I said, she's actually going into this weekend. She was like 17th in the points, and she was just 1 point out of being, chase eligible if the season ended right now. And then with the way she ran on last night, I mean, she finished ninth, so that moved her up in the points, even more. So, if the chase started right now, Danica Patrick would be one of the drivers who would be in the chase. She's 13th in the points right now.
We're talking to Jeff Birchfield again, the sports writer for the Johnson City Press. So, surprise yesterday. Who had a good run that really surprised you, and who had a disappointing run at Bristol?
I guess Kevin Harvick would be a little bit of a disappointing run considering, just the way he's been so much on fire and stuff. Although, when I say disappointing run, I mean, it was more he got caught up in an accident. I mean, he had the streak of 11 top 10 finishes, and his car was still really stout yesterday. I mean, we obviously never really got to see what Brad Keselowski or Logano had, but, Logano led 300 laps, like you were talking about on Saturday, and then at one point yesterday he was actually running in last place. Some of the guys who really impressed me, of course, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, both bounced back from early trouble and battled there for second at the end. And then you had Tony Stewart, finish sixth. Like we've been saying the last few weeks, that team really needed a really good run. And then Matt Kenseth also, he was just stout all night long.
Carl Edwards led a lot of laps, didn't lead all of them. He wasn't the leading lap leader, if you will. Kevin Harvick did that, but he was up there in the hunt for a long time, then kind of fell back, and they really needed a good run from Carl Edwards yesterday. Didn't quite get it for the Joe Gibbs team.
No, but I think they're still, got to be pretty optimistic with Joe Gibbs' team. I mean, Carl Edwards and David Reagan were both, caught up in accidents. Carl really was from trying so hard, he tried to make that pass on the inside lane, and his car just didn't stick, and when he did, he ended up in the wall, and then Kurt Busch literally had nowhere to go, so he just plowed into the back of him. But, I guess the only thing with Gibbs was Denny Hamlin, and his problem with the neck spasms and where they ended up having to substitute Eric Jones in the car yesterday.
Yeah, here's the kid as the phenom. He, again, set on the pole for Saturday's race. He won the race last week in Texas, so Joe Gibbs asked him to get in there and drive. He's only not even 18 or not even 19 years old yet. I thought he, for all intents and purposes, I thought he did a pretty good job given, the last minute, can you go in and run for him because Denny's got a neck spasm. I thought the kid did pretty good.
Yeah, and they ended up under one of the red flags then changing the steering wheel in the car. So, I mean, it obviously wasn't the most comfortable car in the world to drive. And, yeah, he did. He did a fine job in there filling in for him.
You also had a chance to hang around some guys yesterday, the pre-race concert. I know you and I were talking up at the track how much you enjoyed Old Crow Medicine Show, and they've written a new song that talks about Johnson County. Tell us about that.
Yeah, they're talking about all the men chew tobacco in Johnson County and all the women dip stuff in Johnson County. But, they just had a good time and really a lot of ties to this local area. And, I've got a story in today's Johnson City Press where they talk about Johnson City and getting the directions wrong on the famous line in the song Wagon Wheel, where they say heading west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnson City, Tennessee, when it should be heading east. So you guys have to pick up a copy of the paper and check that out.
Yeah, I read it today. It's very, very good. It's a great story. Of course, you and I talked about it up there in the press box yesterday. So, again, the points look like this heading off to Richmond. Kevin Harvick, Joe Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson up to fourth. Then you have Brad Keselowski Jr., Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, and Eric Almirola, the top 10 of the points. And as we said, Danica Patrick currently 13th. So she moved up, three notches since before the race in Bristol. I would think everything we saw yesterday would really spur the ticket sales for folks to get back up there in the fall and see that next round of racing in Bristol, wouldn't you think?
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. That's, just such a great race. And then even the race last fall or last August where Joey Logano won, such a competitive race, come down to the very end between he and his teammate Brad Keselowski. And if you remember, that was a terrific race as well. And I was looking down that rundown. There's a couple other guys I probably should have mentioned. We were talking about having good runs. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he finished second at Bristol to Carl Edwards last year, and then he backed it up with fourth place this time. And then another guy you mentioned in the points there, Eric Almirola in that 43 car for Richard Petty, which they have that new alliance with Team Penske, and that's really paying off. I mean, those guys are solid every week right now.
There you go. Great report. Again, lots going on up at Bristol, and a good time had ball, even though the rain, at least it wasn't cold like it was last March. And so, folks, I mean, you can't control the rain. Folks, well, you moved to April and it still rains. Well, they have no control over the rain. Nobody does except the good Lord. And so when they hung around and waited things out, they were treated some great racing, and we expect much the same back in the fall. Jeff, great report, my friend. I'll get back to you soon, and we'll talk some more about probably the short tracks later on this week. The short tracks around here, be it Kingsport Speedway and Lonesome Pine, and maybe down at Volunteer and down at Bulls Gap. So we'll talk to you a little later on this week about those, all right?
All right. I certainly appreciate that, Tom.
Yep, good man right there, our buddy Jeff Birchfield. Appreciate him, again, the sports writer for the Johnson City Press. That was wild. We went back to flip it back on. He was still there.
He was still there. Well, yeah, we just had to hit the call again.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. But we got him back, and we appreciate him very much. Dave Angi's going to join us coming up here in a little while, get his take on happenings at Bristol Motor Speedway. All right, go ahead.
You were talking about Danica improving here, and I got a quick story. I'll just throw this out. She now has surpassed Janet Guthrie. They were both tied with 5 top 10 finishes during their careers. Danica now leads all females with 6 top 10 finishes. So she set a record there.
There you go. So she is getting better in a learning curve, and obviously doing a better job. Finished 9th at Bristol, her best finish ever there. And then, as we said, and as Horace alluded to, she's in the top 10 in points. Top 15 in points, heading off to Richmond this weekend for the race there this coming Saturday night. We want to tell you about a couple of things. First off, young lady from South Green High School signing with Milligan to play volleyball. Laura Ricker, A-L-O-R-A, Laura Ricker from South Green, signing to play volleyball for Milligan College. She has a host of awards, Rebel Team, 2 All-State Awards, the Regional MVP Award, the AVCA Tennessee Player of the Week Award. And so Laura Ricker from South Green moving on to play volleyball starting next year for the Lady Buffs at Milligan College. We'll have Daniel Monjay on tomorrow talking about what's going on with Milligan sports. Baseball today. Well, you got a big week. The home stretch, next to last week of baseball and softball here in Northeast Tennessee. Going into action today in the Big 7, Dobbins Minute and Science Hill and Crockett are all tied with the lead with 2 losses in the loss column. DB is actually the front runner with an 8-2 record. Science Hill and Crockett are at 7-2. And you have Boone, Tennessee High, Volunteer, and Sullivan Central. In the Three Rivers Conference, Sullivan South, the number 1 team, they're 10-1 in the league and 18-6 overall. Then comes Unicoi County, Elizabethton, Sullivan East, Happy Valley, Johnson County, and in the cellar right now, Sullivan North of the Three Rivers Conference race. And in baseball in the Watauga Valley Conference, you have North Green at number 1 at 8-1. Then you have Hampton, University High, South Green, Unaka, and Cloudland. That's on the baseball side. Now the schedule today, Volunteer, make sure I get these right because there was some discrepancies in the games from the 2 papers, thanks to the Johnson City Press and the Kingsport Times-News. Today, Volunteer at Science Hill in baseball. Tennessee High will be at Sullivan Central. You have Dobbins Minute at Daniel Boone today. It'll be at 6 o'clock. Also, you have action today, Johnson County at Elizabethton, Happy Valley at Unicoi County. You have Unaka at Providence Academy, North Green at Cloudland, and Sullivan East at Sullivan North in boys baseball. Now, softball standings. Big 7 Conference, number 1 team with 20 wins under their belt already. You have Volunteer at 6-1 and 20-8 overall. Then comes Crockett, Science Hill, Daniel Boone, Dobbins Minute, Sullivan Central, and Tennessee High in that order. So the front runner, the Lady Falcons of Volunteer. Three Rivers Conference race right now. Unicoi County, the class of the region, 8-0, 29-2. How about that? 29-2. That's a heck of a schedule for the Lady Blue Devils of Coach Lingerfeld. Happy Valley in second. Then comes Elizabethton, Johnson County, Sullivan East, Sullivan North, and the Sullivan South Lady Rebels again in the cellar of the, and that's a typo. They're not in the cellar. They'll be next to last. North is in the cellar of the Three Rivers Conference in softball. Watauga Valley Conference, softball, North Green at number 1. Then comes University High, Unaka, South Green, Cloudland, and the Hampton Lady Bulldogs are in last place in the Watauga Valley Conference. Now, softball today, you have Dobbins Minute at Science Hill in softball in Johnson City, Elizabethton at Crockett, Daniel Boone at Volunteer, Sullivan Central at Sullivan East, Unicoi County hosting the Chucky Doak Lady Black Knights, Happy Valley at Volunteer, Johnson County at University High, Sullivan South playing 2 at South Green beginning at 5 o'clock, North Green at Sullivan North, the Hampton Lady Bulldogs hosting Avery County, Cloudland plays at Hancock County. In Virginia, Y Central at Lebanon, Twin Springs, the Lady Fighting Titans will host J.I. Burton, and Union at Shelby Valley. So those are the games, again, coming up in softball for today in our region. Baseball, you said you had one game playing. That was the Boston Marathon game.
Yeah, and they're in a rain delay. So right now it's 7-1 Boston, and it looks like they're in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah.
But it's a rain delay.
Red Sox leading the Orioles 7-1 in the 7th in a rain delay. Tonight under the lights, Yankees at Detroit, Cleveland at Chicago, Minnesota, Kansas City, Angels hosting Oakland, and Houston at Seattle. Starting this week in action in the American League, Baltimore and Boston are tied for the lead. In the Central, Detroit a game better than Kansas City. In the West, Houston a half game better than the Oakland A's. In the National League, games today, the Cubbies will be in Pittsburgh. Cincinnati will be in Milwaukee. The tail-spinning Reds on the road at Milwaukee, and San Diego will be at Colorado. In the divisional races in the East, the New York Mets a game and a half better than Atlanta. In the Central, guess who's on top? No surprise here. Cardinals, 2 games better than the Cubbies. In the West, the Dodgers a game and a half better than San Diego. And so that's your baseball schedule and your standings heading into this week of action in Major League Baseball. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. Again, we are working our way through this Monday. Again, the aftermath, of course, of a big weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway. And so, again, your winner on Saturday was Joey Logano in the Xfinity Series race. It was Kyle Benjamin from Easley, South Carolina, winning the pit light 125. And, of course, last night, Matt Kenseth snapping a big-time skid of winless races. And he brings home the checkers for the 4th time in his career, first time in the spring race at Bristol, as Kenseth holds off the hard-charging Jeff Gordon to win it. And, again, put himself in the history books at Bristol Motor Speedway, having won the race, spring race at BMS. Quick break. We'll be right back. You are listening to, and we thank you for that, the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no. Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Back on the Tom Miller Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Monday, April the 20th. Our thought for the day brought to you by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. If you can't be generous when it's hard, you won't be when it's easy. How about that? If you can't be generous when it's hard to do it, hard to be generous, you won't be when it's easy. I think that's pretty cool. You like that?
Yeah.
All right. Wow, that was in depth. If you can't be generous when it's hard, you won't be when it's easy.
Hang on a second. You went to it before I can get my nationwide.
Oh, you're over there doing things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, my mind was on something else.
All right. Let me come back and start over then. Have you got it up yet?
I got it up now.
All right. Hey, the thought of the day brought to you by our buddy Larry Kaiser from Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance in Johnson City. 282-1389 is the number to call. You got it up now? You ready?
Oh, it's up there.
Pictures on the screen?
Yeah.
Got it? All right. If you can't be generous when it's hard, you won't be when it's easy. And that's true. It's a good point. If you can't be generous when it's hard to be generous and be nice to somebody, you won't be when it's easy. So, met Drew's daddy, and he listened to the show. Hello to Papa Dick Bedard, and he was telling us up there on Saturday that every day he tries to do an act of kindness to somebody. Every single day. Just find
somebody. Yep.
Pick an act of kindness to be nice to him. And I thought of him. If you can't be generous when it's hard, you won't be when it's easy. And I think that's very neat. And I appreciate Larry Kaiser, our buddy from Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance, Big Easy as we call him, Karate man. And he is, I think he's got a black belt, green belt, one of those belts. I'd say Goldberg could take him, I think. I don't know. Kaiser's pretty stout, too. But Goldberg up there at the track, the driver intros, big boy, no question. I don't know where I went with that. But anyway, Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance, he is a big boy. He knows karate, about 6'12", and he's biggin'. But he's a great insurance agent. He's got my home insured with Nationwide. Life insurance can help you with making mortgage or rent payments, providing an income to your family, final expenses, transferring an inheritance to your loved ones. Oh, that'll be good. There we go. Let's see where that's coming from now. Let's see if that was Larry. Tell me to lay off. Let's see. He don't like me talking about his karate, so no.
Secret.
Yeah, there you go. Transferring an inheritance to your loved ones, paying an estate or inheritance taxes and cost, business continuation. All this available again by having your health insurance, in this case your home, your life insurance with Larry Kaiser. Just not doing good today. It's been a struggle.
I am too.
No, I'm
just not in sync.
No, I'm doped up.
We're not in sync.
I'm doped up. I just feel dopey.
I got to get back in the groove, man.
Punch drunk from being up there for 4 days, I guess. I don't know. I just can't even read this. Let's try it again. Oh, let's see. Life insurance. You want the best for your loved ones and the people who depend on you. That's why Nationwide offers so much and so many life insurance options so you can plan for the future even if you're not there. 282, got that one right, 282-1389, Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance, and he has my home insured, and he's a great guy, and it simply says we're ready when you are. So there you go. Now, that's the thought for the day. If you can't be generous when it's hard, you won't be when it's easy. Now, we got into this debate. Have we resolved the Raptor? Have we decided what that was? We got in a little spat back in the show, earlier in the show, about a Raptor, the Toronto Raptors. So you said it was, and Birchfield said it was a dinosaur bird, correct?
No, the only thing we agree on is that a raptor is a vicious little animal.
Right.
Okay. A velociraptor, which is what I think the Toronto Raptors have based their logo and their icon on,
right,
is a dinosaur, a mean, wicked dinosaur that stands about 6 feet tall.
Okay.
But it's got a bird-like appearance, but it's got large teeth and claws.
Yeah. So, but my question is, will you see the logo of the Toronto Raptors, which is all this got started, right?
Well, I haven't seen that yet.
Will you see the logo of the Raptors? It will show you, I think, I can be wrong, but I think it shows you a silhouette of a bird flying, which would lend one to think that it is a bird that takes flight, even though you say it does not. So
the Toronto Raptors does not have a bird-like image. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it right now.
Wait a minute. I'm wrong. It's this right here. It's Blue Lizard. Let's move right along here. Blue Lizard, sunscreen. There's one that looks like it's going ready to fly. All right. So So I messed that one up again. So the raptor, well, all right,
you can't see it.
Swing. Oh, yeah, okay. It's a little bird with wings.
It's not a bird with wings.
Bird with wings with a uniform on.
It doesn't have any wings.
All right, so it doesn't fly. I stand corrected again. Horace, take this one. All right, Horace got that one. Whoo! Adrian Peterson did not attend the start of the Vikings offseason workout program today. Star running back's absence at this stage of Minnesota's offseason has almost been a yearly occurrence. They're not all that worried about it. But if you're supposed to be there, why aren't you there?
Yeah.
If you're supposed to report to work, why don't you go to work?
He doesn't want to be there.
Right.
Bottom line.
No, he wants to be right over here. These guys getting ready to open up a big checkbook.
He just wants to be somewhere other than Minnesota. Let's not go jump the gun and say he's going right to the Raiders.
Now, Peterson has rarely been present for the Vikings offseason program before the start of team activities in May. He did attend the team's voluntary veteran minicamp. The first season has not been back since. Now, check this out. This guy makes, by going to the workout, he gets a bonus. Now, he is under contract with the Minnesota Vikings to be a member of the football team, correct?
Yep.
He is not. Okay, he is under contract to be a member of the Minnesota Vikings football team. We have signed a contract. Horace, you're going to play for me. If I have a workout, you're coming.
Right.
If I have a mini workout camp, you're coming.
Right.
If I have a personal appearance for you to show up at Walmart in Minnesota, whatever, to sign autographs, you're a Minnesota Viking, you're coming.
If it's in the contract, you're supposed to be there and do this and do that, you've got to honor your contract.
Mr. Peterson has a $250,000 workout bonus tied to his contract, where he is supposed to be in camp. He's going to get paid by the Vikings to show up for the camp that he's under contract for.
Right. But if he doesn't show up, he's not going to get $250,000.
Yeah, but that's nuts. He's already under contract.
I know. But, he's out there shopping himself around, and money talks. I don't care what Minnesota says. Someone throws out enough jingle to take him away and break that contract. It's going to happen.
Peterson's $250,000 workout bonus is tied to his participation in OTAs. I can't remember what OTAs stand for. And the team's mandatory minicamp from June 16th through 17th through the 18th, not the optional workouts. Okay, I read more into the story. So if he doesn't show up in June for the mandatory minicamp, then he doesn't make $250,000. I'm going to go on record and saying today, April the 20th, he won't be a Viking by June 16th. He'll be gone. What do you think? He'll leave. He'll go to the Raiders where we want him to go. They got $20 million to open up that checkbook to chase him.
Yeah, he could play hardball and just cut all ties. And if he does, he's broke his contract, but Minnesota would not release him to go play somewhere else.
If Peterson was to sit out the Vikings' whole offseason program, the team could fine him up to $73,000 for missing its mandatory minicamp.
Okay, so they're going to pay him $250,000 to show up.
There we go.
But if he doesn't show up, they're going to make him pay them $73,000.
Yep, there you go. That's just not smart economics. As Mom would say, that ain't good ciphering. So they're going to fine him $73,000 for missing it, but if he shows up, they're going to pay $250,000. Oh, and by the way, he's scheduled to make $12.75 million this season. So what is that, 16 games? That's a pretty good chunk of change. 16-game regular season, $12 million.
$750,000, $800,000 a game?
It's ridiculous. Why would you not show up? But anyway, he's not, and so he wants out apparently from Minnesota. Now, you brought this point up a couple of weeks ago. Probably a pretty good point. Could it be when all this came down about the alleged child abuse, which he was found innocent of, the Vikings suspended him. So maybe in his mind he's thinking, okay, you guys didn't get my back when I needed you. You kicked me to the curb and suspended me. So now when I'm reinstated, I was found innocent. Now I'm not going to play for you because you weren't there when I needed you. Is that a valid reason?
Well, I mean, he doesn't want to be there. I think it would. His attitude about the team is going to affect his play. He's probably worried a little bit about the camaraderie he's going to have with his fellow teammates. He doesn't want to be there. Minnesota wants him only because he's a talented running back, period. Right. And they own him in that aspect.
If he comes begrudgingly, doesn't really want to be there, how much effort is he going to give?
He's not going to give any effort.
Okay.
He's just going to go out there and you'll hand him the ball and he'll go forward, and then when they tackle him, but he's not going to, put out the effort. I just don't see it happening. He wants to go play ball, but he wants to play ball somewhere other than Minnesota.
I feel like I'm on a bass boat. Just went in through a big night crawler, reeled him in, just like that. Horace. Horace, you are awesome.
You like my animation.
Oh, I
don't
love
you?
it. You get jazzed up. See, people can say you get revved up, man. I'm telling you, I like it. So, anyway, the NFL reinstated Peterson effective on Friday. Commissioner Roger Goodell telling Peterson in a letter he was free to participate in all the Vikings' scheduled activities. And so he's not shown up. And his agent says, we want out, we want to move on. And, again, the Raiders are luring. They got a $20 million checkbook they want to open up and pay this guy to bring him. They feel like he's the missing piece for a Super Bowl run for the Oakland Raiders. So
$20 million are getting for 1 year.
Oh, I think so?
Oh, they'll have to pay a chunk of change to Minnesota, and they're going to have to pay a chunk of change for him to play with them. So I bet it'd be a 1-year contract.
Yeah. Well, he's making 12.7 this year.
So they'll have to pay at least 12.7.
Yeah. So
plus whatever the Minnesota Vikings want to release him.
Yeah. All right. So here's another story out of the NFL at 2:30 here on this Monday. Alex Boone says Jim Harbaugh, the coach, was, quote, clinically insane. That's nice. Say about your coach or former coach. Now that Jim Harbaugh is no longer with the 49ers, offensive lineman Alex Boone has dramatically changed his tune about his former coach. I think he just pushed guys too far. He wanted too much, demanded too much, expected too much. You know, we got to go out and do this. We got to go out and do this. We got to go out and do this.
You got me going.
And you'd be like, this guy might be clinically insane. He's crazy. No. Harbaugh says, when asked whether he has a problem working with others, it must be true because I'd wear out my welcome. People just don't want to be around you for a while. So
now we're talking about professional sports here, okay? These guys get paid to play.
Yep.
They don't care if they win or lose.
Yep.
Well, and when it gets down to it, yes, they do. They, a lot of them do want to win, and they try to win. You get your Peyton Mannings and whatnot, and they want to come back, season after season to get that ring. But you guys, you got these professional players who aren't college players. They're not high school kids. They're not out there where you can push them and push them and push them. They've reached that pinnacle. Okay.
Yeah.
So Harbaugh is coached him like he's a college coach,
yep.
which he is back to being now. Okay, which he'll fit in just nicely up in Michigan. I think that's going to be a great spot for him. But at the professional level, these guys don't want to be told what Harbaugh was telling them.
There you go.
So that's the bottom. He's just telling it like it is.
Pretty much, he says, and I quote, Boone says he does a great job of giving you that spark, that initial boom, but after a while you just want to kick him in the beep. He just keeps pushing you, and you're like, dude, we got over the mountain, stop, let go. He kind of wore out his welcome in San Francisco because these guys, they flip it on and off like a switch, right?
Oh, yeah.
The NFL. So,
but they don't care. I mean, the attitude is completely different.
That's what I'm saying. When they want to play, they play. When they don't, they just do what they got to do. So, not all of them are like that, but most of them are. And by their own admission, they say.
That's right.
That's how they are.
They're out to get a paycheck.
There you go. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll check in. The schedule will be with us. Rob Cole from Base Mountain Park. See what's going on up on the mountain. And also, due to join us coming up in a little while, Dave Angie, the NASCAR beat writer for the Johnson City Press. All that straight ahead. Come back with us on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us on this Monday, April the 20th. We are living the dream, having a good time. I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun. Let's go to the ponies there, our buddy Rob Cole from Base Mountain Park. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hey, Big T. You know I'm not going to complain on a beautiful day like today.
Well, no, why would you? You swept the Reds. You're 8-3. You're in first place like you always are, the Cardinals. You're 2 games better than the Cubs. Reds couldn't beat I don't know who they couldn't beat. Sister of the terrible. I don't know. Pick a team. They're awful. Reds lost 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5. They've lost 7 of 8. The Reds are in a tailspin. Your Cardinals swept them. Thank you, Cole. I got out of the bet with Horace. I don't have to take him to Cracker Barrel now and buy him chicken and dumplings. So I'm out. We did a double or nothing bet. I said the Reds will get swept this weekend. No, they won't. They got swept. So kudos to your Cardinals. You're playing good baseball. How about Justin Hayward? Here's a guy that was washed up with the Braves. This guy's come to St. Louis, and it's something in the water in St. Louis. This guy's having a great start to his season.
You know, yeah, it's great to see. You know, he's still only 25 years old. He's still a young fellow by Major League Baseball standards, and right now, I got to tell you, we're awfully glad to have him. Heck, just his defense alone has saved us a few runs here over the past couple of weeks. So, you know, that in and of itself is a big part of the game. Obviously, you score all the runs you want. You can't keep the other team from finding the gaps and scoring runs. It don't do you any good. So, yeah, he's been a big addition out there in right field. You know, he's making good contact. The average may not look great, but it's not like he's taking bad at bats. He's making solid contact, and eventually it'll come around. So, man, he's been a nice pickup for us. The hope, though, is that he's not a one-year rental, you know, but, hey, name of the game is what you do now, right? So, hopefully we can play some good ball. He'll contribute like he's been doing, and we don't face the Reds until July, I think you said. So maybe we can do that against somebody else, I hope.
It doesn't matter when you play the Reds. You've got their number. Good grief. It's pitiful. It is pitiful. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, I'm telling you, they say back home. We're talking to Rob Cole from Base Mountain Park. Let's jump in and talk about the Laurel Run recap over the weekend. A big, very grueling race, and we've got a winners, of course. And tell us how that went over the weekend at Base Mountain Park.
Oh yeah, well, we had an outstanding weekend. Perfect weather Saturday. You know, perfect, absolutely beautiful weather for the Laurel Run event. You know, for those that don't recall what this is an 11-mile trail race that begins in Laurel Run Park. Starts at the base of the mountain there in Laurel Run, and the runners run all the way up to the Base Mountain Park Fire Tower, where they turn around and head right back down the mountain. And, you know, we had 62 runners. This is one of those. It's not for the faint of heart. We have a really dedicated group that turns out for this event. And, boy, they had, glad to say they all finished. And all did exceptionally well in terms of time. We had runners that come from as far and wide as North Carolina, Virginia, of course, Kentucky, Tennessee. But we also had a runner from New York, and so you know, it's always great when we can get people to our region for an event like this. We get to expose them to Base Mountain Park, and of course, once again, kudos to Mark Skelton and his crew of volunteers for making this event happen, and man, for just doing a home run job. You know, we just recently had Phil Horner and his crew at Fleet Feet Sports of Kingsport hold their race just a couple of weeks ago, and in fact, 50K and half marathon. And you know, we're tickled to death to have folks doing stuff like this at the park, and bringing folks to us that have never been, and or some that have been before and just absolutely enjoy the run and keep on coming back. And so it's been a great weekend, Tom. Big time. Like I said, Saturday is perfect. Well, wildflowers out. Absolutely beautiful display down at Laurel Run Park. And, of course, come
We're talking to Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. Before I let you go, touch on Healthy Kingsport. You're involved in this, and tell me what's going on in the Model City with Healthy Kingsport.
Yeah, this is, this is a great effort. Heather Cook and the initiative that she's put forth, supported by the city of Kingsport, as you mentioned. This is a wonderful thing for us. This is a chance to get out, get active, get healthy. The benefit is, you not only feel better, you help. Eventually, we'll see the region's healthcare costs decrease as we get healthier. Let's not make it all about dollars and cents. It's just absolutely, relaxing. It's absolutely fun to get outdoors, relax. Bays Mountain Park is great for that. We've got 40 miles worth of trails. Of course, just the animal habitat area alone is a nice little area to just walk and stroll and just enjoy the sights and sounds of the animals if that's all you want to do. But again, with 40 miles worth of trails, you can jog, you can hike, you simply walk, mountain bike. Any number of great activities one can do at Bays Mountain Park to make our destination a part of your health and wellness goals, and it's a great effort. This region is, according to the report, is always one of those regions hit hardest in terms of folks being overweight, and of course prescription medications and those kinds of things. And so, this is the kind of effort that we can create the kind of culture in this region that says, hey, we just everybody can do a little something to be healthy. We're not talking about everybody looking the same and being skinny minis and those kinds of things. We're just talking about overall health and feeling good about yourself and enjoying getting outdoors and again, just developing a healthy lifestyle and incorporating a little exercise. And we're glad to be a part of that. Like I said, with what we're blessed with, the 3,500-acre nature preserve, with 40 miles worth of trails. I know ourselves, the Green Belt, I know, there's plenty of opportunity for folks to get out there, even if all they're going to do is just walk. This is a great region to do that. Again, we've got a lot of natural beauty here, so we're tickled to be a part of it. We look forward to the effort from the Healthy Kingsport folks, and we're really encouraged to see what's about to happen there over this week and, of course, over the years to come.
Talking to Rob Cole, Bays Mountain Park. Give me the hours you're open up on the mountain, would you please, for $4 a carload?
Yeah, we're open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. And Sunday from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. Our Nature Center hours do differ on the weekend. Our Nature Center hours on Saturday and Sunday are from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m.
There you go. $4 a carload. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. The Cardinals, again, in first place. They are off today and open up a series tomorrow in Washington against the Nationals. And I'm sure it'll be a sweep for the Cardinals. They'll just keep getting better there in the Central Division. Reds will just keep dying on the vine. So, anyway, we'll see. We'll see how you go next week.
That's the optimistic view, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, the Reds are terrible. So, they got to get rid of that manager. I don't think he's got a clue what's going on, but anyway, that's that. We appreciate you, my friend. Keep smiling. Thank you, as always, letting us promote you here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And, hey, we'll talk to you next week, all right?
Hey, look forward to it, Big T. Go Cards.
You got it. Go Cards. Oh, my man Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. That's good. It is the Tom Taylor Sports Show this Monday. We told you outside of the show, Tim Tebow being signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the front page picture and story of Tebow in the Philadelphia Daily News. Got him down where he scored a touchdown. He's kneeling in the end zone praying when he was, I guess, with the Broncos. It says, born again. How about that? So, in fact, the article says, on Sunday, the 19th day of April of our Lord, Tim Tebow returned to the NFL roster. And so, Eagles signing Tim Tebow, with Chip Kelly taking a flyer on the ESPN analyst, taking a chance on him. Tebow worked last year on the SEC network. Now he's born again. In the Philadelphia Daily News, of course, that was a play, obviously, on his Christian belief, and I, for one, think it's fantastic, and it'll give him a platform to tell folks about the Lord in the NFL. I think that's great.
Yep.
Yep.
Got no problem with that. That Admire the man.
Absolutely. And he catches a lot of flack. I think go back in the last 3 or 4 years, two people I jump out of me that continue to be assaulted verbally in the media would be Sarah Palin and Tim Tebow.
Yep.
Not necessarily in the same way, but they just are constantly being scrutinized and under the gun. Palin for, I guess, I'm not sure why, but so for this gentleman, it's because of his faith. He catches it everywhere he goes. He just smiles, keeps on going. And here's the Philadelphia paper says today, having been signed by the Eagles, he's born again. So there you go. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're due to be joined by Dave Onge, the NASCAR beat writer for the Johnson City Press. Was with the Times News. Today's his first day with the Johnson City Press, and we're due to talk to this young lad right after you hear this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us again on this Monday. We have a few minutes left in the show. Man, it's been a fast 2 hours. Always is. We are looking very soon to expanding to 3 hours to get everything in we need to get in, and we're looking forward to doing that. Right now we're at 2 from 1 to 3 every day on livestream.com, and let's go to the phone. He's there, our buddy Dave Onge, the NASCAR beat writer, or just a sports writer now from the Johnson City Press. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about you?
Just fine. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, and again, going in tonight and going to cover some softball. Got rained out, so now your new job, you will write sports for the Johnson City Press, but not necessarily just NASCAR, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking at a lot of kind of a mixed bag this week as I look at it. A lot of high school stuff on the schedule. Of course, I had the softball game this afternoon that got rained out, but got the Three Rivers track meet later this week. I have ETSU and UT baseball tomorrow, which should be pretty good. So just a nice mix of stuff, and I'm looking forward to jumping in and getting going over there with those guys.
Which softball game got washed out today?
It was Science Hill and Dobbins Bennett this afternoon. So it's one of many today that wound up getting washed out. It's just so much rain over the last couple of days. It's made it too tough to get those fields ready.
There you go. So those got washed out, so that will not be playing. They'll be making that up. It's a big conference matchup, and they'll have to play that before the tournament comes up in a couple of weeks. Dave, what was your last assignment, at least for now, for covering the NASCAR beat for the Kingsport Times News? You've switched gears now, working for the Johnson City Press. So through your eyes, tell me about how things went at Bristol over the weekend.
I'll tell you, that day yesterday was an absolute marathon, not just for the drivers and teams, but for all of us up there writing about it, covering it, and I know for the fans as well. At least for us, we kind of got to stay high and dry a little bit, but I was amazed by the number of dedicated fans that were able to stick it out down there in the grandstands to a 4-hour rain delay, and then there were a couple other rain delays after that. So, and then for good measure, as everybody was trying to make their way home, we had one last monsoon. So it was a rough time for them, but they were really treated to a good race. You know, all of us who have been watching this for quite a while were talking about it afterwards and said that it had been a while since there'd been a classic Cup race at Bristol. But this one right here, I thought there were so many storylines, so many things that happened over the course of that 500 plus laps that it was just a really interesting day, and I think the fans that stayed got treated to a pretty good show.
Jimmy Johnson said in his post-race comments it's the old Bristol because there was some banging going on, some hurt feelings, some wrecks, obviously, as you mentioned, and some great racing, which is typical of Bristol. So, yeah, I think everybody saw that went the total package as far as if you're looking for wrecks, they had them. Looking for folks getting mad at one another, you had that. Casey King got a little, I think he got a little crossways with Tony Stewart. So you've had a little drama off the track and on the track. So all things leads to, I would think, a great crowd coming in here in August.
Well, it's a big build-up for that, and it's going to be really interesting to see what the situation is when they come back here in terms of, what's going on based on what happened yesterday. You know, a lot of drivers feuding with each other. I think David Reagan said it best when he was talking about his wreck that he was involved with Jimmy Johnson and a couple of the other cars that were running a little bit slower pace. He said, when you race back there at the Squirrels, sometimes you're bound to find a nut. So that may have been the quote of the weekend by him. But, a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of guys getting into each other, a lot of contact. There weren't very many pretty race cars left by the end of that thing. You know, there were guys that finished in the top 10 in Danica as well who were involved in 2 or 3 or 4 wrecks and somehow managed to get their machines back into the top 10. So that's a typical Bristol race in that sense. And, the one thing I think that got overlooked a little bit, Eric Jones flying in mid-race to replace Denny Hamlin, who had a neck situation. People may look back at this race weekend, and they may remember when this has been the beginning of Eric Jones in the Cup Series, because this is a kid, we saw him win his 3rd straight Xfinity pole and run really well in that race. So he jumped into that Cup car with no practice, no preparation, had a really, really good showing to get a 26th place finish in that car.
Yes, he did. Am I right in saying they flew him in at the last minute? They had to notify him because he'd already gone home because he ran the day before, as they got him in a plane and flew him up here about 5 or 10 minutes before the race started, right?
Yeah, that was a really funny story. 4:30 in the afternoon, he was sitting in front of his television like everybody else, on the couch, and was about to fall asleep and take a nap, during the rain delay. His phone rings, and it's Joe Gibbs saying, "Hey, can you get here?" So he packed his bag, he got his stuff together, they threw him on an airplane, which is about a 35-minute flight up here, drove him to the track, he walks in the hauler, he thinks he's just going to be sitting there on standby, and of course the crew chief says, "Hey man, you're getting in the car." So he throws on his fire suit and jumps in there, and the steering wheel they had in that car was really ill-fitting for him, and really uncomfortable from what I understand. He had a hard time making that thing turn because the seat and everything wasn't really fitted for him. But even with all that, he kept that car clean and ran a really good race. And his lap times, if you watched him, got faster as the race went on, to the point at the end he was really competitive with a lot of the other drivers out there.
I would think that would score big brownies with his boss, Mike Noah, did in the post-race post-race press conference. He was very complimentary of Eric Jones, and so I would think he made the boss very happy yesterday.
Well, you can call it a post-race concert, I guess, because he was singing his praises, definitely. He said, "Man, I love this kid." And, the one thing we're hearing now is there's plans, I think, within Joe Gibbs Racing to get him in Kyle Busch's car, I think, for the Kansas race coming up, which will be his official Sprint Cup debut. When he relieved Denny Hamlin the other night, all of the points and everything go toward Hamlin since Hamlin started the race. So Jones won't even show up on the official box score. But, when he gets to Kansas, all the speculation and thought right now is that he's going to be driving an 18 car, which is a really good ride. Of course, he'll have the practice, he'll have the qualifying, he'll have a seat and a steering wheel fitted for him, and it'll be fun to see what he can do with it. It's just it's a great story, and it all started right here at Bristol.
We're talking to Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. Tony Stewart finished 6th, and Kyle Larson 7th, and Justin Allgaier finished 8th. Tell me about those guys.
Yeah, Justin is Allgaier is a guy that's won at Bristol in the Xfinity Series and kind of flew under the radar. When we were talking about dark horses yesterday, of course I mentioned Allmendinger, who wound up getting wrecked, but he didn't even cross my mind. Talking about Allgaier as a guy, but he always runs really well here, and that's a team that doesn't really have a lot of funding. But he came in and really was scrappy and was able to get that top 10 finish, and that's one name there that stood out for me. And of course Tony Stewart too. On the other end of the spectrum, he's a really big star, been around a long time, but has really struggled this year to run in the top 10, and did a good job yesterday and got himself a good finish, and we'll see if that springboards it.
Last guy we want to talk about before I let you go, we're talking to Dave Angie with the Johnson City Press, is Clint Boyer. Started 37th, way back in the back, and finishes in the 12th spot. Big run for Clint, much needed for he and that team.
Yeah, definitely, and he's a guy, too, that was on the verge of having a much better finish than that. You know, he drove himself a lot further up and wound up getting caught in a wreck that forced him back to a 12th-place finish. He was actually on the verge of maybe running top 5 there for a while, and you know, when you look at where that race car was when they started the weekend, it really is amazing because they had no speed in that thing. And, you know, it'll be interesting to kind of look at his quotes this week to see what exactly it was that they found at Bristol. I think they figured something out. I don't know if it was something in setup or tire pressure or something along those lines, but whatever it was, he found his way around the track, and they really made a big improvement from the beginning of the weekend to the end, maybe the biggest improvement of anybody.
I think you're exactly right. So now, before I let you go, look ahead now, going to Richmond. Who typically runs well in Richmond?
Well, you know, the funny thing about it is Denny Hamlin is a guy you look at, you know, that being his home track, and he's run well there in the past. But, you know, he's kind of iffy this weekend with his neck. He says he's ready to race, but, of course, he's going to be evaluated moving forward. So, you know, whoever drives that 11 car, that's going to be an interesting storyline as we kind of move ahead to this week. Somebody, you know, Jeff Gordon got himself up there, had a chance to win. I know a lot of attention's on him this year, this being his final season. But, you know, he's a guy that's really had some success at Richmond as well. And, you know, when you look at Kyle Busch being out of the picture, it kind of opens the door a little bit more to some contenders. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Gordon contending again this week.
There you go. Hey, great reporting, and welcome aboard to the new team, the Johnson City Press team. So from here on in, I guess we'll just talk general sports. And you know for sure which beat you're going to be covering as you move forward here with the JC Press?
Yeah, right now we're kind of putting all the oars in the water, and we're all grabbing what we can during spring sports. It's always a busy time of year, you know, and a lot of collaboration there. I know once we roll over and get into football season, I think I'm going to be pretty much exclusively Science Hill from what I hear. So, you know, it'll be fun to cover some of them. And, you know, really honestly, I'm a guy that, you know, wherever it's at, once they turn the lights on, it doesn't matter what schools they're playing. I just love to get out there and kind of see what stories emerge and who gets to be the hero, and I love to write about it. So just excited no matter which way it goes.
You got it, and you're doing it well. Great report. Thanks for being with us on the Bristol Live Show all weekend long. And, hey, I'll talk to you real soon again about sports in general, all right?
That sounds great. I enjoyed it this weekend. Thanks for having me, and I'll talk to you later on.
You got it. Good man right there. Appreciate his friendship. Dave Angie, again, was the NASCAR beat writer for the Kingsport Times News, now a sports writer for the Johnson City Press with a new home starting today. Today's his first day, and congratulations after a 10-year run at the Kingsport Times News. Horace, it's hard to believe, my friend. I'm sitting looking at the clock. We have
it flies.
Man, it's like Kenseth going around that track up there. We have rocketed through 2 hours of this show. It's hard to believe. So, did you have fun at Bristol? What was the highlight of the Bristol weekend for you being up there?
Well, you know, as far as highlights go, just watching the Stewart-Haas guys. I mean, I've been a Stewart-Haas, you know, racing fan for quite a while now, and just being able to sit there and watch them go around the track and practice, and you know, I'm there. You know, they're there. I'm there. I'm always watched them on TV, but now I've been there. And I've seen them. So yeah, and I'm glad they had a good showing. I mean, if it wasn't for some unfortunate accidents, you probably would have had all four of them in the top 10.
They were running pretty good.
They were doing great. So you know, that was, you know, my highlight. And of course, you know, just being there. Period. You know, and watching Cody and seeing the, you know, look on his face when he walked in there. I've been there before. I've been there for business purposes and for pleasure, and there's no other feeling like it. You know, you sit out there in the stands and you smell it and you feel it and you just experience it. You've got to put that on your bucket list to go to Bristol at least once. So
it's Bristol, baby, is what they call it, and we're out of here. We want to say thanks to our sponsors today: Bracken Asphalt Maintenance, Wells Fargo, Financial Network, Bays Mountain Park, Mag's Medicine Mart, Cherokee Barbershop, Bristol Motor Speedway and Dragway, American Import Auto Repair, Kingsport Cabinetry, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance, Book Lovers Warehouse, and Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. And we want to say thank you. Hit that magic button there, Horace, and we'll roll on out of here. There we go. You can check us out tonight on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher phone app, Stitcher.com, and also on YouTube.
Yep.
And again, we've been on live stream here today. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. Nope. Tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3. Live stream here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So for Horace, Tom Taylor again reminding you, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow right here at 1 o'clock. The Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.